everyone? This is Sifu Z, and this is the 50/50 live training session. I just take care of some logistics here. Invite all the important people. There you go. All right. It is, geez, what day is it? It's Friday. We know what time and we know what day it is. It's Friday, 9:32. And it's time for some Kung Fu. Hey, I did a rhyme there, didn't I? If you're new to the channel, the 50/50 training ritual is about martial art inspired exercise. And we invite the general public to half of our session. And then the other half of the session is over on patreon.com/CFUZ. This is brought to you by CFUZ.com. That's the place to go. This is the place to be for a sustainable method of fitness and a practical method of self-defense. Again, if you're new, we don't need a lot of stuff to do our training ritual here. This is the most portable method of, well, fitness. The fitness tool, let's say, yeah. Most portable. Think about this. You can empty this. This is a sandbag. It's a double bagged sandbag. And this one is poorly tied up here. Yeah, boy, I gotta switch that out. And the sand that's in here is play school grade sand. You don't want to use like beach sand. Now you can also use food like rice or beans, and then once it's pulverized, you can eat the stuff. I guess I've never done that. So the sandbag is really useful. We're going to be doing some hand training with it, but the sandbag is also really useful for just using as a weight. Yeah, I mean the sandbag can be as big or small as you like. Aloha, Justin. Aloha, Fandi Okwe. Geez, that's a very long name, but I'll just call you Fan for short. Yes, the sandbag is one of the most useful, I would say, especially for us Wing Chunners, the most useful training device. Now, I'm here at Starbucks. We have what they're calling an atmospheric river or a bomb storm. And yeah, and it's just raining constantly on and off. We're kind of at the edge of it, so we're kind of getting hit with it and then not. But the frequency is getting more and more. Probably by the next hour or so, it's going to be doing nothing but raining. So we caught this training session just in time. And now, if you just happen to, be in a place where you can't, it's not a gym, it's not your home. It really doesn't matter. I'm here. I have a chair in front of me. There you go. Yeah, I have a chair in front of me. And you're not trying to kill the sandbag. Remember, right? You're just hitting it lightly. Yeah, so this is not going to upset people if they're watching, right? So let's get our 10 minutes of sandbag training in. Not too hard. You can do the finger training, fingers, fist, back of hand, blade, outside, inside blade, outside blade, Park Joy. So today I wanted to talk about Wing Chun origin stories. I've been doing martial arts since I was a kid. I started out in karate and Shotokan and Taekwondo and wrestling. And finally, I think maybe when I was coming into my teens, oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our co host, Sifu Chad, in the house. There we go. Aloha.
Apologies for my tardiness. I got caught up recording a song that I just couldn't. I had to do it then. You know what I mean? It was one of those things. But yeah.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, and I'll never excuse such belligerence. But given the fact that you're a musician, we automatically have to excuse a whole bunch of belligerence.
Oh. Maybe it's perhaps inherent that musicians are ADD because song and all of a sudden it's like, oh, there.
Oh yeah, I mean, given how many great guitar players there are in the world, it's definitely an ADD sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Like because there's children that play better than John McLaughlin. They'll never have the soul of John McLaughlin. This is where I think the term soul is appropriate. When you're talking about James Brown, when you're talking about music and various things of that nature.
Yeah.
This leads really well into a conversation that I wanted to I wanted to start. This is not a conversation that you just have. This is a conversation that I think you start, and it really has to do with the origin story of Wing Chun, right? The origin story of Wing Chun is really fascinating because although it's thought to be about 300-400 years Chinese, you can really see it in so much, just the structure and the form and the postures, the movements. You just see it in everything. I mean, as far back as recorded history, like the Egyptians and the Hindi deities and all that.
Right.
Now, something that I think should also be said is that although we see it, we don't know it as a codification in martial art until we get to Wing Chun. So we can go ahead and say, okay, Wing Chun, 300-400 years old. I honestly think that Wing Chun is a synthesis of all the martial arts that came prior to 400 years old. I also feel that there's no coincidence that the handgun, the firearm handgun, and Wing Chun, as it's known, 300-400 years old, are about the same time frame. Simply because the mechanics of Wing Chun and the mechanics of the handgun are almost identical. If you were to create a Wing Chun statue, it would be a handgun. So there's also another thing that you would want to take note, that Wing Chun is highly influenced or shall we say, Wing Chun as a physical embodiment really does embody the concepts of Taoism and Buddhism, all the popular ones, you know. Uh, straightest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Part B, there are no straight lines in nature,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, although that's sort of our Wing Chun, that also borrows itself a little from science and physics, but there's an undeniable evolution that's going on here. Undeniable. And what I mean by that is, first of all, Taoism and Buddhism, in case you didn't know, are not religious practices, or shall we say, are not. It's not a religion.
It's
It's
not.
it's a
What would they say? It's not monotheistic, right? Because was that the term where because because religion kind of classified as having a deity, right? Is that
right.
what, yeah. Yeah, I think it's called monotheism. I can't remember. Right.
Yes. Deism and theism, right? You got those two isms that are very popular.
Right.
A lot of people are deists because they believe in a god, mono deist. But then there are theists that believe in the doctrines of God. So they tend to be kind of two different camps, um, that seem to get along with each other pretty okay. As Taoism and Buddhism kind of get along with each other okay. Buddhism lends itself much more to doctrine, right? Not to say that Taoism doesn't, but Buddhism really kind of took the doctrine. It's why a lot of people can confuse Buddhism as a deist kind of a religion, right? But really, and after all said and done, both Taoism and Buddhism have their spiritual abstractions. People have created Taoist deities and Buddhist deities, if you will, right? They have. But in the strict sense of the word, really, those things aren't really, not like Christianity and Judaism and Muslim. Those have some hardcore deism going.
Right.
Um, Now, the undeniable evolution that I speak here is of the pragmatism that we learn through Wing Chun. This is something I like to say about Wing Chun. You don't have to be an atheist to train in Wing Chun. You don't have to be. However, if you are Wing Chun, then it would be undeniable that you are atheistic. Not big A, small a, theistic. Now, the argument here is so paper thin because almost everyone that claims to, be Christian or believe in God absolutely do not. They behave atheistically, but they
Right.
just talk a bunch of bullshit. Right?
Yeah.
Um,
Experience that.
and that's fine. That's fine. I mean, the problem there is I just wish you wouldn't take on positions of power because you're a liar. and you're unable to take on certain truths over your doctrine, right?
Yeah. It makes you
So,
incredibly biased.
yes. So, but I think there's an important distinction that you don't have to be an atheist to train in Wing Chun. But by God, don't tell me you're a Wing Chun master and then, be a theist or a deist or any of that nonsense. And I say nonsense respectfully because nonsense plays a valuable part in the normal person's life. A normal person's life. Did you let me emphasize that? Right? The reason why you're Wing Chun and the reason why you train in Wing Chun is so that you can take on the big truths, right? But but you have to. You can't lie. You can't lie and say, "Oh yeah, I'm a Wing Chun master now," and you're not. And then you take on the big truths because I'll tell you, you're probably not ready for the truth, the the reality, right?
Right.
Truth and reality require a great amount of warriorship and fortitude and resilient. And what's that?
Stoicism.
Stoicism and skepticism and
Yeah.
uh,
You gotta be stoically skeptic.
and these things you just can't fake, right? Now, when I say undeniably, there's an undeniable thing going on here. Itmon, atheistic. Bruce Lee, atheistic.
Yeah.
Grandmaster Chris Chan, atheistic. Sifu Z, atheistic. I won't speak for you, but I'll leave an opportunity for you right here.
Sifu, atheistic.
Yeah. So, and it's not something that you have to be.
No.
No. In fact, absolutely not. No. But what's going to happen, and I maybe shouldn't say it, but I don't know. I'm just compelled to say it, and that is, we know that you're Wing Chun because we all come to the same understanding. A bonsao is a bonsao. A tonsao is a tonsao.
Yeah.
A futsal is a futsal. And you can know this, but not really know it.
Mm-hmm.
Once you know it, then it's all simply undeniable. It's simply undeniable. The straightest distance between 2 points is a straight line. There are no straight lines in nature. I can't tell you how profound that is as a martial art understanding, especially when you're fighting as a strategy in self defense. My God, you know.
Yeah.
So there are no straight lines. And then, okay, well, how many times are we going to get into a fight? It's not about that. It's about interacting with other human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's this whole paying forward thing. Like that, I just saw right before we started. I saw a guy got face tattoos, and he obviously ain't doing so good. He's out here in the rain with a skateboard, and you know, and so I had some money, so I gave him my money. I gave him a big old half ounce of weed, and just just hey, what's up, you know?
Yeah.
And all I said to him was, the only reason I did that is because I like your smile. I wanted to see you smile, you know?
Yeah.
When people are nice to you, you can then be nice to other people, you know?
Yeah.
The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. There are no straight lines. I
Mhm.
now I can't be more succinct than that, but if you can't make that connection, you're just not there yet. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I know you're there. I know you're there because that guy is now on a bus on his way to wherever he was trying to go. He's got some weed now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You know,
he's there, man. I'm trying to get off the alcohol. I said, man, yeah, there you go. There's your opportunity, man. You got plenty of weed. You
yeah.
can get off the alcohol, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that's huge too, man. Like for someone to like say that too, you know, to want to get off the alcohol, to get off that soma.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, you know, and that guy, in many ways, that's thanks to you, and for you, that's thanks to someone else because they, you know, we are a symbiosis, and there are no straight lines,
Yeah.
you know, and you just have to do the right thing whenever you most possibly can. You know, we can't always do the right thing. A lot of times
Yeah.
we're rather lacking or slacking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh boy, have I been using that term myself lately?
yeah, yeah. Isn't that a good one? A little trick, you know, to
Great one, man. It's a real great one. I gotta say.
I, I love that one so much. I wanted to put it as a tattoo on my hand. I don't have any tattoos, but if I ever
Lacking.
did, I would put lack and then S on my thumb, you know? So I'd be,
Oh, see,
am I lacking or am I slacking, right? Lacking or
yeah,
slacking? And you know, funny thing, right? If you're lacking, this is getting all nutty, so but that's all right. If you're lacking, then at least your thumb's in, right? It's in the right place
yes, yes. I was
if
just
you're
thinking.
lacking. But if you're slacking, oh man, you're really okay. Yeah,
I,
that's bad. That's
yeah,
bad, okay? Even in jujitsu, you don't grab. In jujitsu, when you're grabbing, you don't really grab like that. You're usually grabbing like this, you know, grabbing
yeah,
the collars like that. Because if you get your thumb locked in or, you know, somebody grab your thumb, because that's the best way. If somebody has you like this, you just grab a thumb as opposed to this, right? Or this, right?
right.
Thumb. So,
That thumb gives
so
a lot of left,
yeah,
right?
lacking or slacking. Um,
Yeah, lacking or slacking.
yeah, man, we've got to. We've really got to fight the massive. Hey, I don't care if the world's going to end tomorrow. I don't care. What I care about is that we went out fighting, and the fight here really is from within, and then within the immediate. You know, in other words, it's going to take the strong to do the right thing, to understand that strong advice is not for the weak. You got to devise weak advice and a chum cue where you can bring them over to the strong advice. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah,
You know, and that's our job. Our job is to understand what would be good weak advice to help them to become strong, and to stop giving up agency. Folks, you've given up agency. Both sides of the party, let's just say, you guys have given up agency in a big fucking way. I only use expletives when I need to be expletive about something.
Yeah.
You've given up agency. And so I understand when you're weak, you have to do that. The answer here starts with admitting the problem. You got to see the problem. You have to admit the problem. You've given up agency, knock it off. That's the problem. All right. Really understand that on a very deep base level, that doing that is horrible. That's not the least bit American. Not even a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
It is not American. The whole religious thing revival in America happened in 1920s, 1910, 1920s. It's a huge religious revival brought in with the industrial age. The industrial age brought upon us many abstractions. One of the main ones, wage slavery. They started with the children, if you remember, right? Child slavery, wage slavery. So yeah, all this stuff is just, it's all history, man. There is no opinion going on here. If you want my opinion, you're gonna have to pay for it. I'm just giving a history lesson.
Yeah. What was the saying? If you deny history, it is doomed to repeat itself.
Oh yeah. And in King Crimson's song, I repeat myself when I'm distressed. I repeat myself when I'm distressed. I repeat myself when I'm distressed. We live in a highly distressed thing. So one of the things that I want to bring up is the whole concept of people praying for you. Hannibal Buress, I love that. So he says, "I'll pray for you." Hannibal Buress says, "Make me a sandwich."
Make me a
sandwich. And I know that often what's meant by, I'll pray for you or bless you, there's this connotation that what you're saying is that, you care for the person and that, your best thoughts or your best wishes are with them, right? But honestly, why not just say that? Because when you say bless or prayer, what you're saying is that you're going to talk to God and ask God to intervene.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how narcissistic that is.
I know. That reminds
me. You, one, know God exists. Two, you're going to talk to him or her. And then ask, oh, listen, I know that you had a plan for this individual, but could you let up a little?
Yeah, because right now your plan sucks.
That makes no sense. Believer, non-believer, there are Christians that don't believe in prayer.
Yeah.
There are even Christians that don't believe in prayer, which is like, that at least shows you're thinking. You're probably just covering your bases, and you know damn well that prayer is not going to do a damn thing, except for maybe allow you to exercise some sort of, narcissistic ingratiation. There's the word. Yeah. Sifu Chad, I'm going to pray for you. Okay. I'm going to pray for you.
After I broke up with my first girlfriend, that's what she told me.
Yeah. There's nothing more. And the thing is I know some of you out there may, have maybe said that and you had the best intentions. But listen, Wing Chun ain't about good intentions. Let me say that again. Wing Chun ain't about good intentions. I wanted to make sure I was using proper English there. Wing Chun is about good actions.
Good action.
Not intention. You don't intend to do anything. That wastes time. You're wasting time, effort, thought, everything.
It's like the same as like somebody meaning well for somebody else, but screws up everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Man,
I mean, like a classic example is just driving, and say you're flow of traffic is to go straight, and you're at this light, and instead of going straight at the green light, you're like, no, I want you to turn left first, and then the person next to you doesn't know that you're left, and they're just going, and next thing you know, you make this clusterfuck.
Yeah, I love people that take the power of not following the rules, the law, the signs, and go, oh no, oh it's okay. It's like no, you go. That's the law. Yeah, I stop, you go. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna put everything, and everybody in this intersection is going to be confused as to who goes.
Hey, I'm gonna do some push-ups here. I'm gonna do the just your up slant push-up here, and you can do planking here if you'd like, or you can do the push-ups here if you like. Either one.
All right.
You can do close grip. I'm using seated chair grip. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing chair grip. Now, all this exercise and stuff is for entertainment purposes only. Train at your own risk. There you go. That has to be said.
Indeed.
I think what I'll do is I'll superset this. So in between sets, I'm gonna just do a nice deep horse stance. Yes, horse. Yeah, there is no reason. We talked about this, man. There is no reason with all the waste and with all that we have as a developed nation, there is absolutely no reason people should be doing without the basics. It's just insane. It's insane. Shame on us all. Shame on us all. All right. Next set.
That's a damn shame.
You know, the irony. Oh, and by the way, with the current political condition we're in, it has to be understood that with 8 billion people on the planet that misbehave, that believe in people up in the sky and stuff, yeah, with all those 8 billion non-thinking people, guess what? Authoritarianism is here for you and you and you. You understand that, right? You understand that's what happens. If 8 billion people, and most of you believe in nonsense, what you think you think you're going to be everybody should have their freedom? No, that's insanity. No, there has to be a thing called cocoa, baby. Massive cocoa. Without
I
cooperating and communicating, it's a no-go. It's a no-go.
I perhaps hypothesize that maybe the reason why the past civilizations, didn't make it is because they believed in nonsense.
Well, power. It all has to do with power, right? And money is power. And so the how do you control a bunch of people that don't have? You get them to believe in nonsense, and then
Right.
you get to have all the shit that they don't have. It's
Yeah.
all about power. And the problem, and it's just the old adages. That's the thing. It's like, I'm not saying anything new. I'm not saying anything new, and I'm not saying anything that like requires like proof. It's just history. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. I'm pretty sure that was like a Roman saying or something. I don't even know where that comes from. Somebody has to look that
Oh,
up.
it came from Plato. I don't know.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that's what everybody, there's this echo chamber going on where people want whatever power I can have. I'm exercising it, baby. Oh, what's that? You want how many creams? How many sugars? I mean, it's cray cray. It's everybody's in their own little power thing, And it's like, oh
They're in,
man,
they're in competition with each other. Also,
with themselves,
yeah, with
competing with themselves. I
themselves.
saw a poor gal out here. She must have been about this tall, and she was wider than she was tall. She couldn't have been more than 20 something.
Ooh.
And she was ordering a super large with a custom cup on top of it, like a sparkly cup, huge sparkle cup, doing the whipped cream and the everything on top. And I almost wanted to cry. I'm like, man, how do you even let somebody do that? There should be, see, and this is America, so you're supposed to let people commit suicide in front of everybody, and you are allowed to make money from their suicide.
Yeah, they're
It's
gluttonous.
so well. I mean, the stupidity all around it, and
Yeah.
everybody's all smiles. I was almost crying. I'm like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me?
Alright.
This is not right. This is not right. You're killing yourselves. You're
Yeah.
you're killing yourselves with your arrogant stupidity, and you're killing yourself. So, guess what? The strong need. Didn't Marley say something like that? You know, or the weak have to help the strong, or something like that. The strong must help the weak.
Or live the week, or I can't remember. It's something about.
Oh
Think
no
about.
no. Anyway, you know, the weak have to help the strong have to help the weak. I think there's a misconception here. The difficulty is this: The weak are now in power.
Right.
The strong have been have they've had their power taken away from them, because the strong are the ones that make sense and they can live within a sensible world, right? They can live within a real world. That's who the strong are, but they've been put down here. And I think it's important that the strong remain strong and we help the weak, even though the weak are arrogant and ignorant. We have to do what we can uh, to, or at least know and be empathetic within ourselves. You don't have to do anything except for be empathetic enough to understand that this is wrong, folks. This is wrong. We shouldn't be letting allow. This should not be something that somebody feels like being an alcoholic and feeling all this vibrato about buying another fifth of vodka or whatever it is. I mean, no, that's pathetic. You've pissed
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
You can't walk. What are you doing? And now, listen, this all stems from giving up agency, and it's perfectly okay. The reason why it's okay is because if you're going to take away the alcohol, you're going to restrict the sugar and the alcohol. You also have to do that with the religion. And they know that if you got a brain that's wired that way, they got you. You have no agency. Don't
The
give up agency, folks. Whatever it is, believe, don't believe, but don't give up agency, man. Try to get more and more agency. What is agency? Agency is being able to think for yourself and not living in an echo chamber of just, if what you're saying, if I hear the same thing that you're saying on the freaking internet, like, as soon as I look at social medias and it's like, oh, yeah, everybody's saying this now. Oh, everybody's saying this now. So they might even be saying the right thing, but it's coming out of the wrong mouth. You don't even know the words you're saying. Let's back it up some. So I wanted to really talk about this. I know every once in a while I'm taking advantage of the fact that I'm in the rain here. I got an umbrella that I'm under here, but
Oh, I
um,
saw. Yeah.
so I'm taking advantage of the fact that these are the circumstances and doing a little lecture here. And I also think it's really important because, um, again, in closing here, it's okay. You can believe whatever you want, but don't say you're Wing Chun, our kind of Wing Chun. There's no Wing Chun master that I know of that believes in nonsense. That's for the normal people. Normal people need to believe in nonsense. They really do, because you're going to die soon. You need what's called distraction from your death, so you're not freaking out like everyone is.
It's all that lost time, man.
Yeah. So don't wait. You have so little unique perspective. 1% unique perspective. That's the best we can do as human beings as a symbiosis. Don't squander that 1% on living in an echo chamber of just repeating, get your own unique perspective. Communicate that unique perspective. It might save us all. Your neglected, unique perspective may be the very thing that could save humanity. I think that's a wonderful thing. That is called agency, my friend. Any
Mm-hmm.
questions?
No, just don't give up agency. Yeah, don't give up agency.
Yes.
Don't give
That's a,
yourself
that's an that's
yes.
an echo chamber I can deal with. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Don't give
it.
up. Don't give
That's
yourself.
right. So Justin Duig, I hope I have fulfilled your statement was what up exclamation point Wing Chun exclamation point. I'm hoping I fulfilled that that chat comment. I hope I explained what up, and I hope I explained what Wing Chun, right? If I haven't, leave it in the comments below or what have you. This has been brought to you by SifuZ.com. That's the place to go for a sustainable method of fitness and a practical method of self-defense. You can train for free if you want, and if you want to get serious, become strong, strongest person, like Grandmaster Chris Chan says, strongest person in the world, master of the universe. Join us over at patreon.com/Sifu, Sifu. That's spelled capital S, lowercase ifu, capital Z, all one word, Sifu Z. Also, by the way, if you stumble upon these, you're kind of, on one hand, you're getting something out of the training. On another hand, you don't want to commit. You don't want to get crazy serious. There's a middle ground. You want to help us out here? Go on over to paypal.me/SifuZ, and you could make a contribution for any amount. That would help us out a lot in order to help you out a lot. I guess that's the best way to say it. So that's it, guys. We do this 50-50 ritual as long as the tech and the weather allows. Friday, 9:30 a.m. California time. And I think that's it. Hey, anything to add, Sifu Chad? Oh man, I am just rhyming.
Just one more time. Don't give up your agency. Don't give up agency.
Don't give up agency.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean or develop more agency. Maybe what do you do? That's information for strong, for the weak that have already given up agency. Now what do you do? Well, just start gaining more agency, right? Look up on the internet how to gain more agency in your life. Yeah, look it up on the internet. If you see something, share the link with us, and we could vet it for you to make sure that it's good information. All right, guys, I'll see you next week, and I'll see the rest of you guys over on our Patreon. Again, if you want to join us for this private part of our training, this is where we actually kind of kick up the training. Just join us over on patreon.com/SifuZ. Until then, I'll see you guys next week.